All right, let's take a look at U8. And this is where we finally get into using some more calculations. I've taken the liberty to kind of jot down some notes for you that you'll want to remember as you move through U8. We're going to look at solving a system of equations using substitution. Now keep in mind, substitution is the act of taking out one item and putting another in its place. For example, when I am out because I had a meeting, Dr. Thomas sends in a substitute teacher. That's because I was removed and she was put in my place, or he was put in my place. Or you can think about it as a sports team, like if a quarterback or someone on the soccer team or someone on the volleyball team, basketball team, if someone gets hurt, or sometimes it's not even because somebody got hurt, it's because they need a rest. They don't just take the person out and not send anybody in their place. They send a sub in their place, short for substitute. So what we're going to do today is we are going to solve systems of equations using substitution, meaning we're going to take a variable out and put a number in its place. So here's a few steps for you. Step 1, solve for one variable if necessary. Remember, in systems of equations, we have x and y. So you're going to want to solve for either x or y, whichever one is easiest to get alone. Then you take your answer, so when you get x equals something or y equals something, you take that answer, whatever x or y equals, and you put it in place of the variable in the other equation. And then once you get that done, and you found your answer, you're going to substitute your answer back into the equation and solve for the other variable. Now, I know that was a bit wordy, and it'll make more sense, I promise, when you see it. So let's go ahead and look at question number 1. Here we have negative 9x minus 10y is equal to negative 16, and we know that x is equal to negative 6. Well, we already have the variable alone, so we don't have to do step 1. We are now going to complete step 2. I know what x is. It is negative 6. So in place of x, I am going to put in negative 6. So I would say, okay, negative 9 multiplied by negative 6 minus 10y, because I don't know what y is yet, equals negative 16. So negative 9 multiplied by negative 6 is positive 54, minus 10y is equal to negative 16, and we just go back to solving equations. So I'm going to subtract 54 from both sides of the equation, and I have negative 10y is equal to negative 70, looks like. Divide by negative 10 on both sides of the equation. Y, therefore, is 7. Now, it's very easy to forget why you're doing this. Keep in mind, we're solving a system of equations, so we need an ordered pair where both lines cross. This is a line, and this is a line. Tell me where they cross. In this case, they cross at x is negative 6, and y is positive 7. So you would type in negative 6, positive 7. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at another one. This time we have x is equal to 7. Negative x minus 4y is equal to negative 19. I know what x is. It is 7. So I'm going to replace 7, or I'm going to replace x, that's a better way to say that, with 7. So I have negative 7, and I'm going to say to you, whenever you substitute, go ahead and put parentheses around what you're substituting. So 1, you can keep your signs straight, and 2, you don't mess up your arithmetic. So we have negative 1, because there's an imaginary 1 in front of this 7, times 7 gives me negative 7. Minus 4y is equal to negative 19. We're now going to solve for y. So we add 7 to both sides of the equation. And we have negative 4y is equal to, well, negative 19 plus 7. I owed somebody $19. I paid them 7. So that would be negative 12 because I still owe them $12. And let's see, I'm going to divide by negative 4 on both sides of the equation. Therefore, y is equal to negative 12 divided by negative 4 is positive 3. So the ordered pair at which these two lines cross would be 7, 3. All right. So this time we have y is equal to negative 5x plus 9, y is equal to negative 4x plus 6. Now this one's a little bit different because we have y is equal to two things. When y is equal to one equation and y is equal to another equation, you can actually substitute what y is equal for. What do I mean? I could take this y is equal to negative 4x plus 6 and substitute for this y. So now I have negative 4x plus 6 is equal to negative 5x plus 9. This is just like when we did You Can't Scare Me and Fright Night, and we were trying to figure out when the number of candies were the same. This is the same idea. So now I'm just going to get x on one side, y on the other, or x on one side and solve for x. So I'm going to add 5x to both sides of the equation. And that would give me negative 4 plus 5 is x plus 6 is equal to negative 5 plus 5, that equals 0. And then I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides of the equation. Therefore, x is equal to 3. And that's all well and good, but we still don't know what y is. So you can choose either equation to find y. You just have to remember to substitute your value for x. So I'm going to pick the first one. So y is equal to negative 5. I know what x is now. It is 3 plus 9. So y is equal to negative 15 plus 9. Y is equal to negative 6. And so our ordered pair for this one would be, put it over here, 3, negative 6. All right, here's our next one. We have y is equal to 10. And then we have 3x minus y is equal to negative 13. Again, this is one line and this is another line. So I know what y is. So I'm going to substitute 10 for y. And that equals negative 13. So I have 3x minus 10 equals negative 13. I want to solve for x. So I'm going to add 10 to both sides of the equation. I have 3x, negative 10 plus 10 is 0. Negative 13 plus 10 is negative 3. Divide by 3 on both sides of the equation. Therefore, x is negative 1 because a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So because I know what y is and I know what x is, I can write my ordered pair as negative 1, positive 10. That is where the lines cross. That's it for this time. See you next time. Bye.